Hello and welcome back to Live Without Limits. This week we're thinking about what it means to love without limits. To love without limits. Now I know we talked about this a few weeks ago. We talked about what it means when Jesus says that we're to love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us. This week we're thinking about love with a slightly different perspective. So I'm going to read from Matthew chapter 10, it's verses 37 to 39. Anyone who loves his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves his son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And anyone who does not take his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. Do you love Jesus? It's a simple question. I guess for many of us the answer is an automatic yes. If you're not sure, if you have never really thought about it in those terms, you might like to find out more. You might like to go and read one of the Gospels if you've got a Bible that will tell you a bit more about who Jesus is and what he does. You might want to find out more about the Christian faith generally. There are some videos on my website, onlinepastor.org, and I also have a playlist here on YouTube, great gospel videos. You might like to check some of those out. But I guess for many of us, the answer is yes, of course I love Jesus. Of course I love Jesus. So the question that I have for you this week is, how much do you love him? How much do you love him? You see, Jesus demands to come first, doesn't he? He demands that we love him more than anything, more than anyone. Anyone who loves his father or mother more than me isn't worthy of me. Anyone who loves his son or daughter more than me isn't worthy of me. I wonder if you've seen parents with a newborn child or a small toddler. There's nothing they wouldn't do for that child. They love that child more than anything. And yet Jesus says we have to love him even more than that. Even more than that, we have to love him more than ourselves, more than our own needs, more than our own life. Do you see that? He says, anyone who does not take his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Do you know what it means to take up your cross? It means to go to your own execution, to carry the thing which will kill you, to be ready to face your crucifixion. Jesus says you have to love him even enough to go to your own death for him. How much do you love Jesus? Enough to sacrifice yourself for him? Enough to give up the things that you love most in this world? It is costly to love Jesus. It can cost you your whole life. It's costly, but it's rewarding. Do you see that in the last verse that I read? Whoever finds his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. You know, if you spend your whole life seeking after the things that make you happy, a great job, lots of money in the bank, a nice house, a lovely family, great holidays every year, you can probably achieve that. You can probably, if you put your mind to it, have a great life. But Jesus says if you do that, if that's what you're seeking in this world, you'll lose it. You'll lose it. But whoever loses his life for Jesus' sake, whoever's willing to give all of that up, even to the point of death, will find it. You see, following Jesus, loving Jesus, can be the most costly thing in the world, but it is also the most rewarding thing in the world. What does it matter if you give it all up now, if what you will gain will last forever? If what you will gain is Jesus forever. So what do you love most in the world? Would you be willing to give that up if Jesus asked you to? What are the little things you love in life? The extra bar of chocolate, the lie-in on a Sunday morning, the nights out with your friends, whatever it is, would you be willing to give those up if Jesus asked you to? Jesus demands that he comes first. We're supposed to love him most of all, to love him best of all, to love him most dearly of all, and to love him without limits on what that will cost us. I just have a couple of notices. We had a great time last Thursday on the Online Pastor Facebook group. We held the first Online Pastor Clinic. People brought all kinds of questions and we had some great discussions. I'd love to see more people at that. So if you're watching and you think you might be interested in that, come along. It's not happening this Thursday, but it will be next Thursday, the 29th of October, from 7 o'clock on the Online Pastor Facebook group. What else? Baked Alaska is happening this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in different places. I'm going to be at the performance on Thursday in Wolverhampton. If you're going to be there as well and you'd like to say hello, do let me know. And finally, I'm still looking for Christmas photos. Send me whatever you've got. The email address is on the screen. Trees, fairy lights. Maybe you've got a picture from church last year, all decorated beautifully. Maybe you've got people wearing paper hats and looking ridiculous. Whatever you've got that just is a funny, fun, lovely picture of Christmas, do send it to me and I'll see you next week.